Hey guys, hope you're well. Have part 2. So we have a definitive conclusion. Again, just to whore myself out, if you want to donate via Cash App or GoFundMe or anything else, I got my links, because any payment to help out with the motel will be helpful. But let us not bury the lead. DOA is still in jail, but his $350,000 bail got reduced to a much more manageable $75,000, which means that you're really only on the hook in the immediate future for really 10%, $7,000. Lara, I know, has been very busy raising money for DOA's freedom, trying to cover all our bases, as well as connecting with Shaheen Mansouri, who will later represent DOA in these hearings. So she has close to what she needs, but obviously, you don't want to help out with me, but you want to help out with that might even be more pressing. So Lara has her links over there, but she's pretty close to getting what she needs to bail him out. So expect DOA 50% chance to be released today, 50% chance, I would say, released tomorrow. There's as pretty much a 0% chance that by Thursday DOA will still be in jail. Not going to happen. It's just not. They have the money ready. They have the money together. Before I start going into the specifics, part of the agreement is he has a stay away order 100 yards from any, unsurprisingly, from any Scientology building in existence in LA, in the city of LA. So not very surprising there. He also has to turn in any guns he has. I don't think he has any guns, but if he does, he has to turn that in. The public defender argued to have him just be released. The assistant district attorney said that he has a history of prior issues, most of which, as the judge was asking for specifics, most of which got watered down to a simple misdemeanor or violation. So if you actually, it's funny, everybody's saying on Reddit that DOA has this long checkered criminal history. They were specifically asking the judge, Teresa McGonigal, specifically asked, well, does he have any criminal convictions in his past? They mentioned the restraining orders, which is one of the reasons that DOA wasn't immediately released. They mentioned altercation, kerfuffles with the cops. But the ADA had to admit that there was no past criminal conviction of DOA. So to not lower the bail and to go to $350,000 didn't really make much sense. But they certainly used that as an excuse. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over a lot of the exact words and try to get them as efficiently as I can. But there's been some conversation as to what the prosecuting team, what incidents they're looking at and what they're focusing on and how they're going to try to peg DOA. So they'll get very specific as to what these are, because the judge didn't really know much about it until it was brought to her attention in this immediate hearing. So that's the rub. DOA, obviously, unsurprisingly, respect for that, not pleading not guilty, which I think is the right way to go. So guess what, guys? There's a trial, which means I actually have something to do with my life. I'm very excited for that, and I will be covering the trial. So, obviously, as I said before, I'm not going to use Mr. Hockstetter. I'm not going to use the name just for shorthand, so I'm going to say attorney, ADA, DOA, instead of Scott, as you probably know from before. So, the public defender currently representing Scott says, DOA is asking to be released. He does remark that he works consistently and makes a living as a streamer. Time away from that means a legitimate financial loss of income. And the assistant district attorney replies, his work has him leaving California quite often. It would be a flight risk. The investigation began after protest at La Poubelle, where the victim, a patron of that restaurant, leaves the restaurant, and a cell phone was placed in his face. The victim swatted it, and DOA put him in a 45-second chokehold. Now in June, Church of Scientology had a restraining order which ended in September. So this was, and I'll continue to read the text, but this was an interesting mode of contention because the judge didn't buy the argument. The ADA was trying to say, well, listen, another reason is this guy's restraining order, but the judge realized, well, the restraining order is thrown out. But, so, also note, in October, DOA returned to vandalize the property of the Church of Scientology, continues the assistant district attorney. He had to be physically removed costing a total of $2,500 of resources and damage. He spray painted on November 9th on a sign that directed people to a food drive outside of the church and their building. He also used cutters to cause Church of Scientology plans to collapse. On November 11th, DOA removed a holiday wreath and it fell to the floor and got damaged forever. Tragic. Rest in peace for that holiday wreath. That's a big one. I mean, you mess with the wreath, you should be in jail forever, don't you think? We opposed his release, continues the assistant district attorney, and he needs to return to court. The judge says, what about his criminal history? The assistant district attorney says, none that we know of. He has a resisting arrest and assault on an officer that were reduced to misdemeanors. The judge says, what year? The district attorney says there's one in 1999, one in 2000, one in 2012, one in 2015. In the 2015, there were actually 6 felony counts of resisting as well as battery that got changed to misdemeanor. Judge asks, what's the most recent conviction? District attorney says that's from Illinois in 2015. The judge asks, are they related to the allegations here? Assistant district attorney says no, but they're similar. They all involve protesting. The judge says, what about the restraining order? Assistant district attorney says that was from June to September. The judge says, so under 90 days, meaning that the restraining order is denied? Assistant district attorney says, yes, it was. The judge says, okay, now can you elaborate on the chokehold incident? Assistant district attorney says, DOA attacked the victim after someone else put a phone in his face. The judge says, why do you have a $350,000 bail? Assistant district attorney replies, based on class 1 offenses, $75,000 for additional court costs for the victim, and in these normal charges, if you look at 2 of them, it's $75,000 each, which would total to $250,000 in addition to its extra charge, in addition to being connected with a hate crime. Judge says, upon consideration and of the criminal history and likelihood of appearance, and because of a physical attack on the victim, this is the judge talking, and because the victim was choked, the bail will be set at $75,000. DOA is required to have no weapons as well as GPS monitoring. So that's a new thing. DOA has an ankle monitor, or probably an ankle monitor, GPS monitoring. That is a very new thing. He is monitored once he gets released. And to stay away, and the assistant attorney asks, and can we ask him to stay away from the Church of Scientology, any Church of Scientology buildings in Los Angeles? The judge says yes, 100 yards. And that is that. So, woo. That's just the beginning, guys. We got a full trial. Tomorrow I will see you. You can't even remember for the gun. So again, ZDT has been threatening to euthanize my dog, and also file charges against me. So it only makes me, only adds more fire in the belly, makes me laugh all the more. So whether ZDT likes it or not, I will see him tomorrow if he shows up, and if he's not, he will have another warrant out for his arrest. So let us see what happens. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.